My name is Anne-Louise and I work here at Spinderihallerne. We work with a project called Reflow, among many other things. This is a place for entrepreneurs and for designers, for art and for companies to come and develop their different products. We have a FabLab where it is possible to work with prototyping, so you can design new products and work with them here. More concretely in Reflow, we work on reducing our plastic consumption. We talk to a lot of people and we have a very strong focus on working from bottom up, so to say that we work together with both citizens, public institutions and also small companies and entrepreneurs as to find new ways of dealing with the plastic issues and coming up with new solutions and new prototypes on this area. And we use the Spinderihallerne here to do that, to conduct all these processes and workshops and working with the citizens in the FabLab in constructing these prototypes and new solutions. Spinderihallerne is a place for many different activities. We focus very much on innovation and entrepreneurship. We have actually right now, behind me, we have entrepreneurs, junior entrepreneurs. It means that schools and children and young people can come and develop on their ideas, their own ideas in their own small companies. We have FabLab, which are open to all citizens to come and participate, making their own, develop their own prototypes, working on different products and designs. And besides that, we also have big conferences and seminars. We have a café, which is ecological based food. And besides that, we have an innovation team, which is a part of the Vejle Municipality, where we work on processes on sustainability, the SDGs, the world goals. We work on resilience and also in different projects regarding climate. So there are in this house many different activities every day, actually coming both from children. They come here and participate in different activities during the day. We have a museum here. And also we are hosting around 80 different entrepreneurs in the whole area on different scales and different levels. This place is also used as an innovation hub for our project Reflow, because that project is really all about working from the bottom up. We want to include and co-create solutions with all kinds of different stakeholders. And this includes also citizens who live here in Vejle, who are occupied on this whole area about climate, environment, sustainability, and more concretely on plastic and how plastic is in our everyday life. How can we reduce our use of plastic? How can we reuse even more of the plastic that we today waste? And what are exactly the alternatives to plastic is some of the questions that we are working on in the Reflow project. And the way that we're going about trying to solve some of these issues is to work with the citizens as to hear what are their point of views on this topic. What are their concerns? Do they have any ideas to concrete solutions when you stand there in your everyday life and you find your toothbrush in the morning? Well, you can have a toothbrush that is made out of normal plastic. You can have a toothbrush that is made out of recycled plastic. You can have maybe an electric toothbrush also made of plastic. Then you can have one of bamboo, or you can even have the new, if you know that, the new chewing gum kind of way of brushing your teeth. But who actually has the overview over which choice is the most sustainable? That is really a question that I think a lot of people are asking themselves, and no one really has the final answers to these questions. So we want to talk about all of these dilemmas with the citizens and include them in how can we make some more sustainable choices in our everyday life. So to say, the heart of the way that we work here in the innovation team and in Spinderihallerne is that we want to include people in creating solutions, in workshops, and in new ways of doing things. So we don't want to come with the finalized solutions. We want to co-create them with the people who are engaged in it. And I think that's actually also something that not only here at Spinderihallerne is crucial. It's crucial also for Vejle in general, and the way that also shaping fair cities is based, is to say, okay, so who can we include of stakeholders, citizens, institutions or companies in co-creating better cities where we all find ourselves included in what the city's future are going to be. So Reflow is kind of one concrete project or way of doing this, focusing on plastic as a material, and in that also focusing very much on how can you make more circular flows than we have right now. We are in a transition right now where we are moving from linear consumption to more circular consumption. That is the hope, so to say, is that instead of just, for example, buying the toothbrush, using it and then throwing it out afterwards and not actually thinking about where it ends up, we need to have a consciousness, and we need to have knowledge about what happens to it afterwards. And when you visit the waste plant, then it will become very obvious for people what actually happens to it and how much plastic waste we produce. Just for, I mean, in European terms, a small city like Vejle. So that is some of the things that we want also to share this knowledge, to enhance the consciousness about what is happening, and to actually look at the material flow of plastic and seeing, okay, are there any concrete products or types of plastic material where we can, instead of throwing it out to the waste plant, actually moving it into more circular solutions. So to say that maybe some companies can take specific kinds of plastic and reusing it in new production. So that is one of the goals in our project about Reflow, and that is not something that is possible to do if you just sit in your own excluding silo, for example, in one organization or in one municipality. You need to open much more up and look at it from a more holistic point of view and say, well, we have both citizens, public institutions, municipalities, companies, entrepreneurs and designers. A lot of people are in contact with this project or material at different points in the value chain. So you need to include all of them in actually understanding where are the problems of the plastic stream and where can we do something differently than we are doing right now. So welcome to Spinderihallerne, which is an old factory of an old cotton mill. And the building that we are in right now, as you see here, is the old kettle. So what happened to the place is that when the factory closed down, the buildings were empty. And for a period of time, it was actually used by young people to have rave parties. In the background you can see some of the street art that they made here, and at some point some people sat down and together also with the municipality and said we can turn this place into something really good that will benefit the whole city. And so the idea of Spinderihallerne was born, that this should be an innovation and entrepreneurship hub. And then they remodeled everything, but still kept a lot of the old factory things here, for example, the kettle. So in this building there are offices all the way up to the top, and in the top we actually right now have an art exhibition. So it is very there are different activities here and different people coming here every day. We also have the museum and the archaeologist who has their offices downstairs, and the department in the municipality called Innovation and Entrepreneurship has their office here and also in the other end of the cotton mill. Reflow in Vejle is a project where we work with a human-centered approach. So in everything we do it from a holistic point of view, and we take the point of departure with always people that we are working with. So if you want to do a transition in society, if you want to work on climate or sustainability, our point of departure is that it's all about the people who can make this difference happen. So when we work on reducing and reusing and recycling plast here in Vejle, we work from this point of departure and with different topics or areas. So we try to, for example, do what is called metabolic scans, which are the material flow of plastic through the city. Then we have another topic about governance and policy, and that means that we are working both on business models and also on policies in the municipality, how we can improve the policy around using plast in the more like official lines or in the institutions of the municipality. Then we work on capacity building, which is both capacity building for people but also in concrete products. Then we have a focus on IT and tech, for example, that blockchain applications or apps or web pages can be a way of making new data, informing people about what we are doing. Then we have the concrete communication, where we work, of course, as I told before, about very much on stakeholder engagement. How can we meet people from where they are and include them in the whole process? And finally, all of these themes and the work on these is the idea will affect and have a social impact in the city of Vejle. So more concretely, we are working with the west of Vejle as a test area, and we have seven different sites. Two of the sites are citizen sites. One of them is called Den Gamle Gård, which is a household for apartments, and the other is Trædeballe area out here, which are houses, one-family houses. Then we have the public institutions, which are Spinderihallerne, where we are situated now. It is a youth center, which is a school for 10th grade. And finally, we have up here Sofiegården, which is an elderly care center. And last, we work with small businesses. We have selected 2 sites in the west of Vejle. One of them is Rema 1000, which is a supermarket, and the other one is out here, a business called Trekantens Mur, and they work on building houses. And so we have right now conducted an analysis on all of these sites, which purpose is to show us the exact plastic streams in the different 7 sites, so that we can actually understand what kind of plastic comes into the site and how does it get out of the site again. I mean, how do they come about the waste? So we look into both which types of plastic, how much is there, and what are the potentials of actually enhancing the recycle process of this plastic. And that is one part of the analysis. The other part is more qualitative and has been interviews with people on the different sites as to understanding how they relate to this plastic issue and their engagement in wanting to change what is not functioning right now. So the idea from the next month and next month and in the rest of the project is to work concretely with activities in the different sites and say, okay, so how can we work with the elderly care center of sending more of the plastic waste that they have now to in more closed loops or in recycle processes? How can we help them, for example, to sort their waste even better, so that when it gets to the waste plant, it is actually clean enough to go into these recycling processes. So that is some of the activities, and besides that, we have also a lot of activities on the whole communication about the project, because we want to really open up and tell and include people in what the whole plastic area and problem is, because there are so many dilemmas in this area. So it is important for us that both on social media and in newsletters and stuff like that, that we can inform people about what to do and tell the good stories when we have it from the sites, and we can say, okay, so we actually changed a plastic stream, or we actually cooperated about making new loops, or we found new solutions, for example, through an app or blockchain technology or something like that. So, but that will be in the next couple of years. We will test these prototypes, as I talked about. FabLab will help us produce the prototypes, and we will have them tested in the different sites. So when we finish the project in 2.5 years, the goal is that we will have some really nice tested prototypes that we can share with other cities who like us, can see that the green transition is something that we all need to do something about, and people who want to in our cities who want to change their way of relating to plast and how they can do things differently, that they can learn from the examples and also implementing the prototypes that we have worked on here. So that is the goal. So together with the prototypes, there will be best practice books also in the communication line to actually tell about how did we go about it, how can you include different stakeholders. So there will be like a whole set of tools and methods how to go about this process.